Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty.
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very much.
Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty.
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, members of the Roll the Tape film crew, welcome to another edition of Roll the Tape podcast with Manager Marty. I'm your host, Manager Marty. We have some boxing that we got to talk about this evening. But first, I have to welcome each and every last one of you, especially those who are watching the replay of this live. Feel free to give some feedback as the show is progressing in the comments section. Those of you that's watching live in living color, come on in, grab a plate. I got some food for thought to serve you. Come on in. Yeah, come on in, grab a plate, have a seat. We have some interesting topics to discuss this evening. If you're from another country, I want to say I double salute you, because you can be anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me, and I'm so excited about it. I don't even know where to start at, y'all. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna keep it all the way real with you, like I always do. I mean, maybe I should start here. But before I start, I'm not gonna start just yet, because we got people that's just coming to class late, and that's okay too. Come on in. Crab Leg 202, what's up? You saw me at the fight? You was with Greg? I appreciate you speaking now, Crab Leg. Salute to Crab Leg 202 in the chat. Appreciate you acknowledging me. Always a pleasure, man. Who else we got in here? Uh-oh. Cash Crypto, as soon as he walk in, soon as he walk in, he say Mac Marty. You know Mac Marty's activated. You know it. Once I see the name in the chat, I get activated. Come on in, y'all. Let's talk some boxing real quick. I'm not going to hold you all long. Yeah, come on in. Let's talk. Got a few things that I want to share with you all, and I'm going to use some teachable moments today, as I always do. And it's going to be some interesting points that you probably never heard nowhere else. And that's why I'm glad you're here. Come on in. I'm not expecting a big crowd, because most people expect me to come on Wednesdays and Fridays, and that's okay. All the Roll the Tape film crew family that's here, hey, as long as the family's here, we can always have a cookout when the family's here. What's up, Mr. Greg? Good evening. Farid, my brother Farid in the chat. What's up? Come on in. Let's go. P Flame. Yeah, what's up, P Flame? Man, we're going to have a good show today. I don't know what they talking about. Y'all remember Tuesday night fights? This what it feel like today. Tuesday night fights. We're going to have some good topics to talk about tonight, boy. Man, oh man. We got, let me see, we got 3 topics to discuss tonight. Windy City Assassin, what's good? Now, y'all know typically I do the Town Watch check-in, right? We're not going to do the Town Watch check-in. We might resume our Town Watch check-in on this Friday, okay? I'll be back here probably tomorrow. We'll see. Definitely going to be here Friday, live and living color. Man, I don't know where to start with this. There's so many different things I want to talk about. How about I do this? How about I let the chat decide? Yeah, let me do that. And speaking of the chat, let me tell y'all something that's going to start happening real soon, probably as soon as next week. Haven't decided yet because I have to obviously coordinate things with my schedule and other personal things that I have going on outside of YouTube. But I'm going to start doing members only lives. I'll still do a weekly live for all of the family members who are not members of the channel. But I'm going to start putting out a lot of different good information and some heavy, heavy points and some really, really good entertaining and educational broadcasts live and living color for members only. For members only. So you'll see me as time progresses, you'll see me more and more promote the perks that I offer here on this channel to galvanize you to become a member of the channel. And one of the perks will be personal private live chats with only the members only content, members only lives, members only live chat. Okay. So I'm going to start promoting that real heavy real soon because you know why? We have a lot of content that we have to put out and publish, and I'm excited. But at the same time, you know, somebody got to help me pay for these grocery bills because you know I air fry and I need a lot of help and resources to be able to put the content out. And you already know how it is. So I don't have to, you know, belabor the point. But I'm gonna let you all in the chat. Since the day is Tuesday, this is one of our chill days because most people didn't know I was coming on live, and that's okay. I'm gonna let y'all decide. We got 3 topics that we want to deal with, and I'm gonna let you all decide which one you want first, and then I'll decide the other 2. So, boots, detractors. So we can start off with that. I'm talking about because you know Boots had a performance that most people believe was lackluster, and he didn't perform up to his potential, his full potential. He had a bad night or a bad day at the office, but he's getting a lot of flack from a lot of people, including Brian Norman Sr. So we want to deal with that. We want to deal with it. Um, Devin Haney is allegedly in negotiations with Teofimo Lopez for a return fight, and both of those guys supposedly are in negotiations to fight each other in 2025. So I'll let y'all decide which one y'all want me to start off with first. The Boots detractors, including Brian Norman Sr., or the real reason why Devin Haney want to fight Teofimo Lopez? Because you ain't gonna find this nowhere else. That's why I'm glad you're here. I'll let y'all decide in the chat. Y'all tell me. I'm here to serve you. Y'all tell me. But let me check the likes real quick. Likes is not congruent with the viewership. I'll tell you that. So we got to get better at that. If we got a couple people in the chat, can I get at least one more like? Can I get one more like? Yeah. You can't just come over and freeload now. You know the family know who we are. I'm talking about the people that's not family. The people that's not family. Hey, Miss Joette. What's going on, Miss Joette? Good to see you, sweetheart. You know, the family come over and you can eat anytime, but I'm talking about the visitors. That's not family. Yeah. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Let me see where the likes is at. We gotta make sure that all of this information can reverberate across the YouTube boxing community. Windy City, I know. I know Windy City. I was going to play the clip where he said that. But I'm just trying to understand which topic do y'all want me to talk about first as the viewership is increasing exponentially. Which one? The Boots detractors, including Brian Norman Sr. in his latest video, or the real reason why Devin Haney want to fight Tio? Because we heard Bill Haney speak on that, right? He spoke on that. Remember, he spoke on that on the Boxing Voice, where the guy Punch Drunk Boxing used a talking point that I've been speaking on about VADA, and Victor Conte was over here on this channel, and Punch Drunk Boxing, at the end of that, well, first of all, Punch Drunk Boxing brought my name in their conversation, which was great. And I saluted Punch Drunk for that. I appreciate him for that. And the little clip, that little excerpt, that's all I'm saying, that Punch Drunk Boxing used to illustrate the point that he was trying to make to Bill. Because Bill Haney brought up Teofimo Lopez and testing and all that, right? And we're going to get to that. All right, so Creo said talk about Devin and them first. All right, come on, we're going to talk about that. Thank you, Creo. What's up, Dean? Double salute to my guy, Mr. Gregory Quarterbaum. Thank you for your contribution and your support to the channel. Mr. Greg says, let me pay the 1970s club cover charge first. Devin, then Boots second. Well, hey, a paid member of the audience spoke. Mr. Greg, thank you again for your contribution to the channel, man. I really appreciate you as always. So, yep, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to get to this Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney rumor. We're told that they're in negotiations. This is what the boxing media is saying on YouTube. This is what the boxing media is saying on different news outlets and websites. But I just heard a video where Teofimo Lopez said, you know what? I'm doing way too much talking. Let's hear what Teofimo Lopez said when he was live and someone actually asked him about that. And this was just published earlier today. Hold on, let me see something.
Agent said, hold up, say what's up. Yo, what up, baby? Hey, don't leave the live. This is Nothing LaCroix, the one and only Supreme Team. New York City in the house, baby. What's up? Yeah. It says you boxing Devin Haney? Yo, you boxing Devin Haney? Yeah. Okay. Man, where all these rumors came out of, man? This shit came out of hat. It's crazy. All right, listen, we're going to see. I haven't had no contract. Yo, you're fighting Devin. Yo. Yeah, so let's give me a story. Somebody say something. Just don't yell out you're fighting Haney, the man too. I'm gonna go live with this gentleman right now. I'm gonna bring him in.
You heard that? Let's do an audio check, shall we? Mic check. Testing 1 2. Hello. Can you hear me? Hello. Testing 1 2 1 2. We did. Let's do a mic check. Did y'all hear that? Were y'all able to hear that? I just want to make sure we on the same page. That's all. Cash Crypto said he heard it loud and clear. That was Teofimo Lopez that said that. He said he wasn't sent any contract, any offer, or anything, Mr. Greg. All things. That's what Teofimo said. Miss Joette, hey, Miss Joette, that's what Teofimo said, Windy City. That wasn't me talking. Y'all didn't see my lips moving. My lips are very big. You know I didn't. You know I didn't move. That's what Teo said. Y'all want me to play it again, or y'all heard that? Because I see people in the chat telling me y'all heard it. Thank you, Steve. You see what's funny about boxing media? Always what the sources said. Sources said. Did y'all notice that? You know, most of the people that say sources said don't even have sources. Y'all know that, right? Y'all haven't, some of y'all may have not caught on to that yet. Most of these people don't have no sources. I guarantee you that. A lot of these people, right? I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, man. A lot of people will read an article from a reporter like a Dan Raphael or Michael Benson, Jake Donovan, who else? Mike Coppinger. And I'm not saying the ones that know any of these individuals personally. I'm just saying in general, overall, when we talk about boxing media, right? They'll read an article from either those four or another news outlet on the website, on social media, or Google somewhere, right? And then they come out, pull their camera out. All of them don't do this, but most of them do. Pull their camera out, right? Or pull their phone out, start recording a video after they just read an article where a journalist or an editor is saying sources say, and then they turn around and use the editor's and the journalist's article as a reference, but they don't tell you, oh, I just read an article from such and such. No, they make it seem like their own personal sources told them what's going on. And they do this to make content, to make money. That's just what some people do. Forbes, thank you, Hannibal. And I saw that. Even Forbes posted about it. Thank you, Hannibal. But Forbes probably saw another news outlet write about it first, and then they came. Boy, I tell you, this boxing media is so funny. It's funny to me. Cash Crypto said that Forbes article was written by a guy that covers video gaming. You see how it works? Y'all see how this stuff works? Content creators do the same thing. Don't have no kind of sources at all. Reading the article and doing a reaction video to an article that they read and then lie and say, oh, my sources told me. No, you didn't. I tell you who else some people use as a source. Rick Glaser. Some of these people that's on YouTube, I noticed this. We're going to get on to the real reason why I believe that Bill Haney and them are talking about fighting Teo in just 1 second. But some people, right, they get their information from Rick Glaser. Remember everybody that was jumping on the bandwagon of PBC is broke? What's up, Omega Red? Remember? What's up, Lucky? Remember when Rick Glaser was saying PBC broke, PBC ran out of money? A lot of people don't know nothing about the business of boxing. They use the words of Rick Glaser saying that PBC ran out of money, they're going broke, blah, blah, blah. And they repeated the words of Rick Glaser with the impression that they was giving y'all, the audience, and under the disguise that they had real sources. Now, somebody can say, Manager Marty, when did Rick Glaser say this? Well, he said it several times before, but when the first time I heard him say it personally was when Rick Glaser was here on this channel. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember when Rick Glaser was here and he disrespected me? And after he said all that tough guys talk about the insults that he was calling me, he ran. Y'all remember that, right? You all remember that. Y'all remember that was about a year ago, right? Somewhere. Yeah. Come on, man. And then when the fights don't happen, and when the fights don't materialize, they never come back and say, I was wrong. I said PBC was broke. I was wrong. Because when people were saying PBC was broke, what they didn't know was PBC was behind the scenes inking a deal with Amazon. Y'all remember that? Oh man, Showtime going out of business. I told y'all. And then what happened 2 weeks later? PBC came out, Amazon came out and said that Amazon Prime and PBC have now made a partnership. That's all I'm saying. So a lot of people are getting the information from people who don't have inside sources either. You ever notice that people always talk about purses? You ever notice that? Oh, this person made 4.5 million, 30 million. He's scheduled to make, you know how reporters be and journalists in boxing, they'll tell you, oh man, this fighter is this fighter is going to make 2.2 million. This fighter is going to he's going to make 20 million. Never saw the contract, just going by hearsay. And then people on YouTube will repeat what they heard them say, or they'll repeat what they read and then start spitting out these numbers and don't really know how much these boxers are getting paid. And my question is, especially when you're not in the business of boxing, what difference does it make how much the fighter is going to make? What difference does it make if a fighter's pay-per-view numbers were this many hundreds of thousand, or this many thousand, or this many hundreds? What difference does it make? That's what I ask. I'm not here to criticize. I'm just keeping it 100. So we now see this movie keep playing out over and over again. The same movie, y'all. Same movie. Teofimo is saying he wasn't sent no contract. I just played the tape. I just rolled the tape. That's what he said. So who are we supposed to take word for? We supposed to give a reporter or a journalist more credibility than the guy whose the articles are about, Teofimo? I'm just asking a question. So this is my thing. Did Bill Haney ever come out and talk about the negotiations? I don't know. I'm asking y'all in the chat. Can someone tell me? Did Bill Haney come out and make a public statement? He the CEO and representative of DHP Promotions, right? Devin Haney Promotions? Okay. Did he come out and confirm that there's negotiations being held between him and Teofimo Lopez representation? I'm just asking, did he? Did he come out in the last 48 hours? Double salute to my guy, member of the channel, supervisor of the Road to Tape film crew, Mike Dangerfield. What's up, Mike? Did Bill Haney come out within the last 48 hours and confirm any of this information? If he did, tell me in the chat. I don't know. Because Teofimo just said he don't know where these rumors coming from. He wasn't sent any contracts or nothing. Those are the words of Teofimo Lopez. I mean, I'll roll the tape again if some of you don't believe. So I'm just going by what Teofimo said. So nobody knows this. So that means, Bill Haney, he's jumping on different platforms. So if people in the chat tell me they don't know if Bill Haney said something, then most likely Bill Haney ain't speak on this. So I'm trying to figure out where this information come from. Because, listen, right? This also happens in boxing. I'm telling y'all what happens behind the scenes. I see it happen all the time. A person that's in boxing, right, has a relationship with a journalist. No names. I'm just using this as a reference, right? Let's say this fighter has, or someone who is close to the fighter, have a relationship with a journalist. Would call a journalist on the phone and say, yo, listen, I'm gonna give you some intel on this. Don't tell nobody. We about to fight Tank Davis. Yeah, we fighting Tank Davis in March of 2025 for 40 million. Look, I'm just letting you know that before the word break out so that you can be the first one to report it. Yeah, 40 million in March 2025. I'll holler at you later. Click. And then the journalist write an article and say, sources close to the negotiations, sources close to Team Gervonta Davis have confirmed that Tank Davis is going to fight manager Marty in March of 2025, and manager Marty is expected to make $40 million. That's usually sometimes. I'm not saying all the time. Sometimes that be happening. The fighters don't even be calling the reporters. It be other people calling journalists and giving this fake news, as they say, this information, and then it's being disguised as sources say. It be like that. And I think this is one of them situations with Teofimo Lopez right now, because he came out and said otherwise. L Dub, what's up? He came out and said, what negotiations? Where are all these rumors coming from? I wasn't sent a contract. I wasn't sent anything. This is Teofimo Lopez talk. Now I got a question on that. I'm trying to figure something out. I'm trying to figure out, why do the Haneys want to fight Teofimo Lopez? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out, why would the Haneys want to fight him? I mean, wouldn't it be more appropriate for Devin Haney to fight Ryan Garcia in the rematch? I mean, I'm just asking the question. I mean, don't get mad at me. What's up, Rock Bottom? Salute. Don't get mad at me. I'm just asking the question. Wouldn't it be more appropriate for Devin Haney to get that get back, that rematch with Ryan Garcia? I'm just asking. Okay. So let's say that Teofimo Lopez is gaslighting us. He's manipulating us. He's being deceptive toward us as an audience. He's insulting our intelligence. And he's lying. Let's just say that. Let's just hypothetically say, hey, Teofimo Lopez is lying. We know that he's got some legal issues going on, and him and Top Rank are not on good terms. We do know that. Okay. Double salute to Boxing Hacker. Thank you, Boxing Hacker, for your contribution and your support to the channel. Boxing Hacker says in the super chat, Tio is the last 4 horsemen. Devin don't need Ryan. Who, when you say the 4 horsemen, Boxing Hacker, who's the 4 horsemen? Who's considered the 4 horsemen? You said Tio is one of them. Who's the other 3 horsemen? That's at 140, right? Because that's the weight class that Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez, they're both at 140 pounds, right? I'm interested in knowing who's the Who's the Four Horsemen? Okay, Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, Tank, and Devin. Well, Tank is not in the same division as Devin or Teo, and Ryan Garcia, he's suspended, but not just that. But Ryan Garcia, he really can't make the weight anymore at 140. So I don't know about that. Double salute to my guy. He's a member of the channel, supervisor of the Roll the Tape film crew, my guy, Gary. Appreciate you, Big Gary. Gary in the super chat says, double salute, Manager Marty. We need answers. Roll the tape. You see, the more you contribute to the channel, ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, members of the Roll the Tape film crew, the hotter the air fryer becomes. You ever notice that? The more support I get on the channel with the likes and the contributions, the hotter the air fryer becomes. Now, I'm trying to figure something out. Why would Devin Haney, let's say he don't want to fight Ryan Garcia, why would they be targeting Teofimo Lopez? Y'all not going to get this nowhere else. I promise you that. I have an inclination, me personally. I believe wholeheartedly that there is a reason why Teofimo Lopez would be the perfect candidate for Devin Haney. Because, you know, Devin Haney can come back at 140 and fight anybody. But Teofimo Lopez, perfect candidate. Perfect candidate. I wish somebody asked me why. I wish somebody would. You know, somebody be like, I wish you would. I wish somebody would ask me why with a super chat. Because watch, when I break this reason down, most of y'all going to be like, I never even thought about that. I got something great for y'all. I wish somebody would super chat me and ask me why. Watch how I break this down. I figured this one out. This was easy for me to figure out. Because I still believe that Teofimo Lopez is being targeted. Yeah, I believe he's being targeted by the Haneys. I just believe he is. But watch the reason I'm going to give you. But I'm waiting. I know somebody's going to ask me why. And I can't wait to tell you why. I can't wait. Motorsports Sports, what's up, man? Haven't seen you in a while, man. Always a pleasure, big dog. I knew my brother was going to come through. Somebody had to come through. Why not my guy? Lucky. Double salute to you, Luck. Thank you for your contribution and your support to the channel. Appreciate it. Lucky's one of my day one supporters, man. One of my homies. I appreciate you, Luck. Lucky says, why? Double salute again to my guy, Gary. Thank you for your contribution and your support to the channel, Gary. Gary even asked, why? I need the answer. I have the answer for you, Gary. Of course, you know my guy, Mr. Greg, had to come through again. So double salute to my guy, the OG of the channel. Mr. Greg, my man, my main man, Pots and Pans. Mr. Greg, thank you for your contribution and your support. Again, in the super chat, Mr. Greg says, let me get a shot of Remy, but why? Oh, you're going to need a shot of Remy after this one, Mr. Greg. Woo! Jeremy Austin, double salute to my guy, Jeremy Austin. He's a member of the channel and supervisor of the Roll the Tape film crew. Let me tell y'all why Teofimo Lopez is being targeted. Y'all ready for this? Let me see if Mr. Greg, let me give a couple more seconds for Mr. Greg to pour his shot at Remy real quick. Hold on, because I want to make sure Mr. Greg get this. Yeah. I got something for all of you. And you probably never even thought, and I'm sure you haven't. And that's okay. That's why I'm glad you're here. Can I get a like, please? You know I don't ask for much. May I get at least one like? Because the viewership is increasing exponentially. Yes. My God, Jeremy Austin, double salute to my God, Jeremy Austin in the super chat. Appreciate you, Jeremy. Y'all know he's a supervisor of the Roller Tape Film Crew, always supporting the channel. Thank you again, Jeremy Austin. Let me tell y'all why. Y'all ready for this? Let me tell y'all why, right? This is why he's being targeted. Now, I believe Teofimo Lopez when he say that there's rumors going around. So apparently somebody else put the call into a reporter, and then once one journalist or reporter put it out, now everybody, I get it. I see what's going on. I'm going to play y'all something. Let me see something. Is this it right here? No, that's not it. I'm going to play y'all something. The answer lies in the information that was presented. Play it. Hold on. Where's it at? Where is it? It's in here somewhere. Oh, I'm going to roll the tape. Hey, Mike. Hey, Dangerfield. You know I'm going to roll the tape. Watch when I find it. Y'all watch when I find it. I sent it to a couple of people. Hold up. And I want to replay it. Is this it right here? Oh, no, that's not it. I found it. Told you I was going to find it. Here is the reason why I believe that Teofimo Lopez is being targeted by the Haneys. Un momento. I figured it out. I found the video. Let me check to see. Oh, the likes. Y'all have to come on now. Now, you know YouTube done shadow banned my channel 8 months ago. And you all already know, not the new members of the family, not y'all didn't know, but the members of the family that been around so many different family cookouts, y'all know this to be true. YouTube has shadow banned my channel, right? We know that's why they don't push my content out as much as they used to. We know that, right? We know they don't calculate all of the views. We know that, right? So when I ask you for a like, is to at least put it in the algorithm, because somebody else need to hear this information. Somebody else need to get educated on the real reason why I believe the Haneys are targeting Teofimo Lopez. And I'm about to tell you right now. Can I get a like? Can I just get one more like? You know I don't ask for much. Just one more, because I got to tell y'all something right now. And you ain't going to find this nowhere else. That's why I'm glad you're here. You know I'm going to tell y'all this. Most of y'all know this about me. When I was younger, right, I hated doing homework. When I was a kid, when I was in grade school, middle school, even high school, but more so elementary, middle school, right? There was a rule in my house growing up with myself and my siblings. When we came home from school, unlike our neighbors, unlike our peers, unlike our friends who were able to just go inside their house after school, dump their book bag off, and run right back outside, my mother did not allow us us, meaning myself and my siblings, to go in the house after school, drop our book bag off, and immediately go outside. No, no, no. We had to sit at a table and complete our homework assignment. And sometimes, if we didn't have homework, read a short story out of a book as a prerequisite to going out and having recreational time. And because of that, I hated doing homework. All because I wanted to just run in the house after school, not do any homework assignments, and then run out and play. And my mother was trying to discipline us. So I didn't like it back then. I didn't. But as I got older, of course, when I wasn't going to school anymore, I started to like doing homework. And that's why I do so much homework. And all of you that know me know, when I do my homework, I usually get an A on the test. Y'all know that already, right? Some of you call me an investigator. Some of my homies have made me adopt the name Marty Matlock. Y'all know who Matlock was. You know, back in the day when we was younger, especially in the 90s, they had a TV show called Matlock, the lawyer. Some of my homies call me Marty Matlock because my thorough investigation and reporting and due diligence and homework. And I did my homework because even though Teofimo Lopez is saying it's not true, that's good. That's good that he's saying it's not true, because that means that somebody else probably put a call into a journalist just to put that information out there. But I believe that he is being targeted. And we already had multiple people ask me why. Now I'm going to give it to you. Let's take the words of Mr. Bill Haney, the father and trainer and manager and spokesperson and publicist and representation of his son, Devin Haney. This is what Bill Haney said on the Boxing Voice. Listen, don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.
So Teofimo Lopez to enroll in 365 days random testing right now.
Did y'all hear that? Some of y'all missed it and went over some of y'all head. Double salute to my guy, my brother, my friend of over 30 years, Mr. Rod Day. What's up, Rod? What's going on, G's? Thank you for your contribution and your support always to the channel. He's a #1 and day one supporter of the channel, and I have to give him his flowers while he's here. I wasn't even going to do a YouTube channel on boxing. I just want y'all to know that. I just want y'all to know that. I wasn't going to do a YouTube channel on boxing. I was going to do a YouTube channel on financial literacy. Most of you that's a part of the Roll the Tape Film Crew family, y'all know my family members. Y'all know I'm certified as a credit counselor. Y'all know that I'm certified as a tax practitioner. Y'all know that. So I was going to do a YouTube video to help empower others, right? And educate the community on financial literacy. And my friend Rodney, after 2 interviews that did so tremendously well on YSM Sports Media's platform, my friend Rodney called me and said, bruh, do boxing. You're the expert. This is what you do. You can still do that financial stuff. You can, because that's what you do professionally. That's cool. But boxing, that's your lane. I think you should do a YouTube channel on boxing. the business aspect of it, because that's what you were talking about in your interviews with YSM. There's no lane for it. On YouTube, I think you should do that. And after going back and forth with Rodney, back and forth, I said, you know what? My friend Rod, he was right. And I just started doing YouTube videos. But anyway, we almost 3 million views in, almost 10,000 subscribers later, over 1,000 uploads, right? Later, right? 10,000 subscribers almost later in 2 years. So many different other opportunities that have come along the way of this journey, and even meeting some great, beautiful people. Oh, man. I'm just saying, y'all. That's all I'm saying. And I got to say this, too, because Rodney's here. He grew up with me. He knows me very well. He was one of my friends growing up. And Rodney will tell you in the chat, not making it about him, because that's my guy. He'll tell you in the chat, you know, Miss Shasha, I ain't play that. That's all I'm saying. I had to do homework before I was able to go outside. That's all I'm saying. But I did my homework on this. Did y'all hear what Bill Haney said? Some of y'all might have missed it, might have went over your head, but I figured it out. I'm going to break it down to you. Double salute to 2 Cents Boxing. She's a member of the channel, supervisor of the Roll to Tape film crew. Did y'all hear what Bill Haney said on the Boxing Voice nearly 2 weeks ago? I'm going to play it again, because you know my name was brought up to Bill Haney by Punch Drunk Boxing. A portion of my content when I did the interview with with Victor Conte was used by Punch Drunk Boxing. So salute to Punch Drunk Boxing again. But did y'all hear what Bill said? I'm about to teach y'all something. Stay right there and don't move. I'm going to show you the real reason why Teofimo Lopez is being targeted by the Haneys. Hold on. I'm going to play Bill Haney's words again, and I'm going to bring it back around. Hold on for a minute. Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.
So Teofimo Lopez should enroll in 365 days random testing right now.
Did y'all hear that? Let's do an audio check again. Let's do a mic check. Testing 1 2 1 2. Y'all hear? 1 2 1 2. Y'all hear? Can y'all hear me? Mic check 1 2. Is my lavalier on? Hello, hello, hello. Can y'all hear me? Let's see if we can do an audio check real quick in the chat. We're gonna move on to the next topic real quick. I'm not gonna hold you too long. Did y'all hear that? That was Bill Haney. Hey, all things, did y'all hear that? Yo, did Miss Joette, did you hear that, sweetheart? Yo, did y'all hear that? That was Bill Haney. Did y'all hear what Bill just said? Y'all heard that, right? I just want to do a mic check real quick before I bring the point home. Because I just activated my amber lights on the school bus. Yeah, I did that 100 feet away, and now I'm about to stop the school bus so the red lights can come on and be activated, right? My stop arm can extend, and then my red stop sign is going to extend as well. I'm going to stop the bus right here. But did y'all hear? Y'all heard that? Oh, Boxing Hacker didn't hear it? Okay, Boxing Hacker. I'm being told you didn't hear it, Hacker. Hacker, I'm being told you didn't hear it. I don't know. I'm gonna play it again. What's going on in the chat with Boxing Hacker? I'm gonna play it again. I don't know what you're doing, Boxing Hacker, in my chat with the ladies, but stay focused, Boxing. I don't want you to miss this. I'm gonna play it again. Hey Gary, I'm gonna play it one more again. I'm gonna play it. Because I know Boxing Hacker roll with Devin Haney and them, and I'm okay with that. I like Devin too, but We got to keep it real. Hold on for me. I'm going to play it again. I don't want anybody to miss this. You're not going to hear this point nowhere else. That's why I'm glad y'all here. Like they say down south. Hey, Steve, like they say down south. I'm going to play again. One more again. I'm going to play it one more again. Here you go. This is Bill Haney. He brought up Teofimo Lopez. Listen.
So Teofimo Lopez should enroll in 365 days random testing right now.
That was Bill Haney. He said Teofimo should enroll in 365 days, 24/7 testing right now. Sounds like he was talking about a prerequisite that Teofimo Lopez need to go through before getting an opportunity to fight his son, Devin Haney. Now, I had a question on that. Why would Bill Haney, I'm just trying to figure this out. Why would Bill Haney mention anything about VADA testing when it comes to Teofimo Lopez? Let me ask a question. Did Bill Haney mention VADA testing in the buildup of the fight with Ryan Garcia? No. Did Bill Haney mention anything about VADA testing with the guy who they outweighed and won the belt to? The guy from New Orleans. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The guy who Bill Haney went to his fight and he realized that the guy didn't look as good in his performance before Devin Haney fought him. I'm just asking, I'm talking about Regis Prograis, y'all. I'm just asking a question. Did he mention anything about 365, 24/7 VADA testing and being enrolled in it before fighting Devin Haney? I'm just asking. No, he didn't. Okay. That's interesting. Okay, let me ask you this question. In the buildup of the fight between Devin Haney and Kambosos, did Bill Haney mention anything about VADA testing before they fought? Like 365, 24/7 testing? No, he didn't. Okay. Did Bill Haney mention anything about VADA testing, 365, 24/7 enrollment before Lomachenko fought Devin Haney? I'm just trying to figure it out. No, he didn't. Okay. So then why is he mentioning something about 365, 24/7 VADA testing, specifically VADA testing, as a prerequisite for Teofimo Lopez to fight Devin Haney? Never asked it to be required before fighting Devin Haney for no other opponent except for Teofimo Lopez. I did my homework. Now I'm going to bring this back to your remembrance. Those of you that's part of the Roll the Tape Film Crew family that's been here months ago, I did a live on this. Hey, Dion, what's going on, sweetheart? That's my homegirl, Dion, in the chat. She's a day one supporter. Salute to Dion. I did my homework. And some of y'all probably forgot this. Don't worry, I'm going to prove it to you. Y'all remember that time? I'm going to find that tweet. I have to, y'all. This might take me more than 30 seconds. I'm going to find it. I have all the evidence. You know that, right? You know when I do homework, I already have the information. Even if I don't speak on it publicly, I have it. Y'all remember that time when Victor Conte made a reference about Teofimo Lopez when Teofimo Lopez fought Jermaine Ortiz? Y'all remember he made a statement about VADA testing. I did a live video on it, and Detailed Boxing was here with me when we did a reaction live off of the fact that Victor Conte, who had no dog in the fight, had no horse in the race, was mentioning his concerns about Teofimo Lopez and Jermaine Ortiz doing VADA testing. Y'all remember that? This was months ago. This is before Devin even fought Ryan Garcia. Do y'all remember that? What's up, Adrian? What's going on with you? Oh, man, the chat is on fire tonight. Let me find it, because some of y'all don't remember. I'm going to find it right now. I got the evidence. You know, I have the content. Let me see something real quick. Some of y'all probably forgot. You know, some people in boxing have short-term memory loss. I get it. Y'all probably forgot. I didn't forget. I definitely didn't forget. I'm about to find it right now. Hold on. I got a lot of evidence in the phone, so I just have to make sure. I'm going to bring it home, y'all. Just hold on for 1 second. Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out, why is Teofimo Lopez being targeted, and why, even if they're not fighting, hear me out, and because I want to know why he's being targeted. And why do Teofimo Lopez, at the behest of Bill Haney, why does Teofimo have to undergo 365 24/7 VADA testing and be enrolled as a prerequisite to fight Devin Haney when that was never a requirement for no one else, including Ryan Garcia, before they fought? Man, oh man. Why should I pull this up? See, some of y'all forgot I've already did a live on this months ago. I'm going to pull it up. Man, oh man. I found it. I told you I was going to find it. And I did. Ah, boy. Let me pull it up. On February the 16th, 2024, Victor Conte asked for clarity. Y'all remember that? He asked for clarity. Some of y'all done forgot about this. I didn't. He asked for clarity. Remember? This is what he asked for clarity on the 15th of February. And then the next day, the 16th, Teofimo Lopez acquiesced to his demands. Let me read to you what he said. On February the 15th, 2024, on Twitter at 9:39 p.m., this is what Victor Conte said. Note, N-O-T-E, at Teofimo Lopez said, so he's quoting Teofimo. This is what Teofimo said. Let's see if those PEDs work for you. And that's what he said at Jermaine Ortiz. This is what Conte said in that same tweet. Teo was the A side, and yet it appears there was no VADA testing during their training camps. Top Rank Boxing often has VADA welcome, quote unquote, welcome their top boxers, but they did not. Terrence Crawford and Devin Haney both do VADA. That's what Victor Conte said. Now, let me show y'all what he said, because I'm going to bring it back home. Cash App is $ Manager Marty. There it is at the bottom of your screen. I think somebody was asking me for it. Here it is right here. Don't mind that green line on the side of my phone. I just don't feel like going through the process of filing an insurance claim and all of that. But I am going to do it eventually because I do need a new phone because this line is starting to irritate me. Because I dropped my phone because I used to, y'all don't care about none of that. I want to show y'all this. I read it to y'all, but this is right here. Can y'all see that? Y'all see that, right? That's what Victor Conte said. That was literally after Teofimo Lopez and Jermaine Ortiz fought. Now let's see what happened after that. Let's see what happened. This is what happened. This is what happened. Hold on. This is the response to that. Because Teofimo Lopez, he actually came out and sent information to Victor Conte to prove to Victor Conte that VADA testing was administered for the Jermaine Ortiz fight and Teofimo Lopez fight. He did. And let's see what Victor Conte's response was the next day on February the 16th, 2024. This is what he said. He said, thank you to Teofimo Lopez and Jermaine Ortiz for clarification regarding VADA testing before their fight on February the 8th, 2024. My tweet is truthful and was not intended to be hurtful to anyone. There is a lack of drug testing transparency in boxing. Please clarify how many times each were tested. I'm going to show it to you. Like I just showed y'all February 15th. Now, this was the next day. After Teofimo and Jermaine Ortiz clarified to Victor that testing was administered through VADA for their fight. This the next day, February the 16th. Here you go. I just read it to you. Look at it now. Don't get mad at me. This is what he said. Y'all see that? Hold on. Let me make sure y'all see it. Make sure y'all see what's going on. Okay. Y'all saw it. Now, this is my question. I just try to figure something out. That's all. Why would Victor Conte be concerned about whether or not Teofimo Lopez and Jermaine Ortiz got tested through VADA? Why? Second question. That was in February of 2024, by the way. But why within 2 weeks ago? Why was Bill Haney on the Boxing Voice telling the audience that Teofimo Lopez had to enroll in 365 24/7 testing through VADA as the prerequisite to fight Devin Haney? We need answers. I have the answer. This is just my opinion. Don't get mad at me. Teofimo Lopez is being targeted, in my opinion. He's being targeted. Somebody's pushing Bill Haney's buttons to talk about VADA testing. All of a sudden, they wasn't talking about VADA testing when they fought Lomachenko. They wasn't talking about VADA testing before they fought Ryan Garcia. Wasn't talking about VADA testing before they fought Cambosis twice. Now, all of a sudden, wasn't talking about VADA testing before they fought Regis Prograis. But why all of a sudden now, Teofimo Lopez have to enroll in 365 24/7 testing before he fight Devin Haney? And this is literally 9 months after Victor Conte requested the testing results and evidence that Teofimo Lopez and Jermaine Ortiz tested for their fight on February the 8th. Is it because the Haneys believe that Teofimo Lopez is an easy lick? Because don't forget now, Teofimo Lopez is in the same division as Devin Haney. Or is it because Victor Conte won a guarantee that Devin Haney's opponents are being VADA tested? Don't get mad at me, because Bill Haney told Champside after the Netflix documentary dropped last August, he said the reason why he hired Victor Conte is to catch other people cheating and to make sure that through VADA testing, Victor Conte can be an expert at it. And also Victor Conte can help Devin Haney with his man strength. Y'all remember that? Hey, don't get mad at me. I just did my homework for the last 15 years. Don't get mad at me. So I believe Teofimo Lopez is being targeted. Even if he doesn't fight Devin Haney, he's being targeted. Because in February, according to a tweet that I just pointed out to y'all, and I pointed it out as soon as it happened, live right here in February, Victor Conte targeted Teofimo Lopez. He's not, he meaning Teofimo Lopez, Teofimo Lopez not a part of the snack program. So why would Victor Conte be concerned about whether or not him and Jermaine Ortiz tested through VADA? That's none of his business. But he made it his business by publicly asking them, how many times were y'all tested? Salute to my guy, Sin Ironheart. Don't get mad at me, y'all. Here it is here. He said, please clarify how many times each of y'all were tested. Here it go right here on February the 16th, 2024. Why does Victor Conte have to know how many times a fighter has been tested when he's not working with the fighter in his strength and conditioning program? He's not providing the supplements or his supplements to these fighters. Why do he need to know how many times Teofimo Lopez and Jermaine Ortiz was tested? Who put Mr. Bill Haney up to ask that question about when Teofimo and why he won't enroll in 365 24/7 testing with VADA? Because the first person we ever heard talk about 365 24/7 testing through VADA was Victor Conte. Y'all remember that? You ain't gonna find this nowhere else. That's why I'm glad y'all here. Teofimo Lopez, in my opinion, is being targeted not just by the Haneys, but by the strength and conditioning coach, Mr. Victor Conte himself. See, they want to make sure Sin Ironheart. They want to make sure Creole. They want to make sure all things. They want to make sure Miss Joette. They want to make sure Mr. Finesse. They want to make sure Mr. Greg and Shiny D and Big Supreme. They want to make sure that Teofimo Lopez. They want to make sure he don't have nothing in the system. That's what they want to make. They want to make sure that he enrolled in 365 24/7 testing. That's what Bill Haney said. Even though we all know that Victor Conte said it's difficult to get Devin Haney to even enroll in 365 24/7 testing. But in February of 2024, he wanted to know how many times Teofimo Lopez and Jermaine Ortiz was tested. We need answers. That's all I'm saying. Now, moving right along, and then I promise you I'm going to let y'all go. Jaron Boots Ennis has been facing a whole lot of backlash from members of the media, his own fan base, detractors, people that was waiting on the sidelines for him to look bad in the fight, to lose in the fight, to have a bad day at the office. And now all of a sudden, most of them is coming out the woodwork. We all have acknowledged that Boots had a bad day at the office. If you work at your job long enough, you're going to have a bad day at the office too. Boots won the fight and knocked down Karen, something that most fighters could never do. And the man is still getting criticized. He actually won the fight. And he actually knocked down Karen. But his performance wasn't an A+ performance. But I got a question on that. I'm just trying to figure something out. That's all. Don't get mad at me. How come this standard don't meet the expectation level for other fighters? Let me reframe that. So Boots, right? Very talented world champion, right? The standards is very high for Boots, right? Considerably so. Very high for Boots, right? Very high for him. But the criticism is high too. How come that concept of high expectations that are not being met get met instead with high criticism? How come that logic don't apply to other fighters? That's all. Hey, that's all I'm saying. What's good for the goose, good for the gander. If that standard applies to Boots, it should apply to all the fighters. Oh, you don't agree with me? Oh, you need an example? I'm gonna give you one example. David Benavidez. His nickname is the Mexican Monster, right? So high expectation, high standard for the Mexican Monster, David Benavidez, right? High standard, high expectation for him. But David Benavidez wasn't met with high criticism. You don't know what I'm talking about? I'm so glad you asked what I'm talking about. When David Benavidez fought Caleb Plant, y'all remember that? I did live commentary right here, live and live in color on this show, on that whole entire card. In fact, I had Crown Jewel Boxing with me. Y'all remember that? Okay. David Benavidez fought Caleb Plant, right? Creole said he remembers that. Oh, okay. Caleb Plant, in my opinion, did pretty good in the first half of that fight. In fact, David Benavidez was losing the first 4 or 5 rounds, arguably, in that fight. David Benavidez did not score a knockdown, and David Benavidez did not win by knockout. Am I right or wrong? I'm just asking a question about the Mexican Monster, who we all have high expectations and high standards for. But he went a full 12 rounds where he arguably may have lost the first 4 or 5 rounds to Caleb Plant without a knockdown or a knockout, he was not met with the same level of criticism. I'm just asking the question. Don't get mad at me. I'm just trying to figure that out because I see that the hypocrisy is happening with Boots. And I'm not saying people shouldn't have a problem or be disappointed with the fact that their expectations were high and still are high for Boots, but they feel like he underperformed. He underdelivered. I get that. That's a natural response when you are a boxing fan. But I'm just trying to figure out how many days we're going to keep talking about this. How many more people is it going to take to come out of the woodwork and criticize this man for having a bad day at the office? He still won. I already told y'all a couple of observations that I made on Sunday when I did the live. And some of those observations were not favorable to Boots. I kept it all the way 100. But at the same time, the man already acknowledged that he didn't have a good performance and he wasn't as sharp, and he's going back to the lab and he's going to improve and work on his problems and his struggles and not listening to his father and some other things that he said he's going to work on. Didn't Boots say that? How long the man going to be criticized when David Benavidez fought a good fighter in Caleb Plant? Didn't score a knockdown, didn't win by knockout, and was losing arguably the first 4 or 5 rounds. And David Benavidez, the Mexican monster. And we have high expectations and high standards for David Benavidez. But the same ones that's criticizing Boots, and I'm including content creators as well, did not meet David Benavidez with the same level of criticism. That's all I'm saying. If you're going to do it with one fighter, you got to do it with all of them. That's that's all I'm saying now. Because KC is a good fighter. Just like y'all didn't criticize Benavidez for not getting a knockout or a knockdown and was losing the first 4 or 5 rounds, arguably to Caleb Plant, a good fighter, then how can y'all sit up there and criticize Boots, who fought a good fighter? And speaking of Karen being a good fighter, let me say something to Brian Norman Sr., and I have to take my glasses off so I can hear myself say this. Brian Norman Sr., and this is just me talking now, your son cannot beat Karen Chizuka. Your son cannot beat Karen Chizuka. He can't beat the guy. That's just my opinion. Brian Norman Jr. cannot beat KC. That's just my opinion, bro, because I know their styles. He can't beat him. And guess what? I'm going to put my glasses on when I say this next part so y'all can hear me. Guess what? Brian Norman Jr. can't beat Boots either. And you don't have to take my word for that. Even his dad know. Hey, even his dad know his son can't beat no Boots. You don't believe me or his dad? Okay, let's look at the money then. You ain't got to believe me. Let's look at the check. Let's look at the money. That's all I'm saying. Double salute to Boxing Hacker. Thank you for your contribution and your support to the channel. Again, Boxing Hacker, in the super chat, Boxing Hacker says, Eminem, Manager Marty, do you remember when Floyd said that Pacquiao should be taking Olympic testing? Only during and after Pacquiao's fight did he talk about it. Isn't this the same? I think that's a very, very good question. Boxing Hacker. Let me break this down because I want to make sure I answer both your questions. All right. Do I remember when Floyd Mayweather was asking Pacquiao or telling Pacquiao that he should take Olympic style testing? Yes, I do remember that. I do. Your second question, only during And after Pacquiao's fight, did he talk about it? Isn't this the same? Okay. No, it's not the same. Boxing hacker, Floyd Mayweather was talking about all of his opponents, not just Pacquiao now. He said that all of his opponents, you remember when Floyd Mayweather got that big lucrative 6-fight deal with Showtime? That's when he started this whole deal about random style testing. It wasn't just about Pacquiao. That was a prerequisite to anybody and for anybody or anyone or any opponent of Floyd Mayweather. Not just Pacquiao. Victor Ortiz, Shane Mosley, the list goes, Juan Manuel Marquez. Because remember, Floyd Mayweather came out of retirement with that. Remember, he went on a hiatus. He came back with that. Everybody had to undergo random style testing according to Floyd Mayweather. If you wanted to get Floyd in the ring, everybody had to undergo it. So yes, I remember when Floyd was asking Pacquiao to do it. And it was only during the Pacquiao fight that he was talking about. No, it wasn't. He'd been telling every opponent to undergo random style testing. Boxing hacker. And I also have to say this, and the reason why this is not the same. Last time I checked, I didn't hear Teofimo Lopez's name being on social media or in videos about him using PEDs or accusations in the boxing community behind the scenes of being suspicious of Teofimo Lopez using performance enhancement drugs. Did you? Because I was behind the scenes and I didn't hear it. I'm talking about when Pacquiao was fighting actively, running through everybody in all these weight classes. His name was being mentioned behind the scenes. And people were whispering about his ascension in boxing. And people accused him of using performance enhancement drugs. Pacquiao, I'm talking about. I'm just saying. Including Victor Conte. Yeah, before Victor Conte went on the Boxing Voice publicly, yeah, behind the scenes, he was suspicious of Pacquiao as well. And so was Floyd Mayweather. But in the case of Teofimo Lopez, nobody accused him that I know of using performance enhancement drugs or looking suspicious in his fights. So for somebody to come out and automatically, out of nowhere, the clear blue skies say, hey, he needs to enroll in 365 24/7 testing, that's suspicious to me. Especially when Victor Conte is in the camp. Especially when they got VADA on speed dial over there. That's all I'm saying. Dion.
Hi, Marty.
Hey, girl, what's up?
How are you?
I am doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm blessed, tired. I was just dialed in listening to you driving home from work, and I said, let me jump on.
Dion, I want to tell you right now, I appreciate you coming on. You know, everybody want to know who you is, Dion. They want to know who you are.
I am Dion Davis. I'm from New York City, and I am a serious boxing fan. I listen to you guys all day, every day. Marty, sometimes I'll just peek in, listen a little bit, and move on and move out. And but I'm always listening, even on replays. So my ear is always to the streets when it comes to boxing.
I appreciate you and
All day long,
all
every
day
day.
long.
Yes, my grandfather was a fighter. My uncles were fighters. So it's just part of like almost like DNA, you know?
Yes, and I appreciate you always investing your time, Dion, and of course your monetary resources. I can tell you all this to your face now, Dion, because you just put a super chat out there.
Yes,
I
yes,
appreciate you so much. Appreciate your support. You're one of my day one supporters, and I always
absolutely.
appreciate you. You remember me from the beginning of this process,
Oh my
right?
God, yes, I do. I remember you from the very beginning when you first started out, and it's been wonderful to see your growth. You've
Yes.
grown so much, and you just took off and you put out great content. I enjoy it a lot.
Thank you so much, Dion. Can I read your super chats while you're here?
Yeah, sure.
All right, awesome. So double salute to Dion. She's here. Thank her for her contribution and her support to the channel as always. Dion says you put out two super chats. I'll read the first one and then I'll read the second one and then we can chop it up and air fry on it. Dion says both fights and his fight with Ebenezer, C grade. When you are as talented as he is, he should shine against those level of guys. And you were referring to Boots Ennis, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Can you expound on that so the audience can hear your take on it that
I
extends from the.
this is my thing when it comes to Boots. I mean, I think it's pretty evident that he's talented. And I think we have to look at it, especially if you're the kind of person who believes in excelling in life. When you're given a gift, you are expected to show up and show out, especially in his hometown. I mean, there's a reason why we were all sitting there like, ugh, for all three of those fights. It's not just a bad day at the office. And yeah, he won, but sometimes it's the fashion in which we win. For instance, Shakur Stevenson, he wins every single fight. But when it's been time for him to show up and shine, you look at the likes of young men like the young boy who just fought, Davis, not Tank, the other one from Norfolk,
Keyshawn
Keyshawn
Davis.
Davis,
Yeah.
when he had the opportunity to shine against what should have been a difficult opponent for him, 11 fights in, this guy's 20 something in, he showed himself to be a star. I feel that Boots is definitely a talent. I mean, I've seen him do some Matrix type shit in the ring. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, like pull counter, like what did you just do?
Yeah.
Right? But it appears to me, in my opinion, when it's not easy for him, when it's not easy, he doesn't figure it out and make it look beautiful because he is beautiful. It's like this is a masterpiece. I want to see you pull off a masterpiece when you are creating your art against someone who's a little difficult. Yeah, this guy's difficult, but Karen is no like mega star. So what are you going to do against someone who is very difficult? Someone who matches you in IQ, someone who matches you in strength. How about someone who is stronger than you? Because you can still beat someone who is stronger. What are you going to pull out your bag to excel and show just how talented you are? It's not enough just to win. It's like going to work and you do just enough to get by. You did the work. You did the work, yeah, you did the work. You didn't get anything wrong, but did you do an excellent job? You know, we're looking for legendary performances. Legendary performances. We're not looking to say, okay, well, he beat him. He beat him every round. You know, he beat him most rounds. It was a little difficult for him. That's not enough. And you know what? When I looked at his body language throughout the fight, looked at his father's body language, post fight, you could see he's unhappy. So if he's unhappy with himself, then we all are disappointed. It is no hate on him, it's no knock. He is wonderful. He is wonderfully made and gifted by God. That is 100% sure. But we expect more from him,
I totally have
as
to
he should
say.
expect of himself. And I truly believe that he does expect more of himself. And the reality is that this is boxing and we're all here to look and critique. And some people are over the top. You know, some people are just haters. So they're just going to hate just to hate. And that's just what it is. They can't wait for the opportunity to say, oh, he's bullshit.
Yeah.
But, if you don't show up, you leave room for people to say, well, we thought this guy was the next coming. We thought
Hmm.
he was, he was better than Crawford. We thought he was better than Crawford. Now you're like, okay, all right, and it may just be he needs to sharpen more, maybe there's some things he just has to work out internally. He's at a different level now, you
Yeah.
know, he's now a champion. So it may take some mental things for him to get over, because I don't think it's really physical for him. He
Yeah.
has all the attributes, you know.
I
So
mean, you.
that's my take on him.
Yeah. I mean, you made some very, very interesting points, and I would have to say that I agree with most of them. But I know that you don't. You said it in the chat when we were live on Sunday that Karen is not as good as maybe I was. I'm saying he's good. Now I'm not saying he's. I'm not saying he's like Terrence Crawford good. We know there's levels to this, Dion, right? But Karen wasn't no slouch either, though, Dion. You know what I mean? He was pretty good. He's a good. This guy has some
Okay, well,
skills.
just because he's good, I mean, it's like he's not that good. You understand? He's not
Yes.
that good. Where if he was that good, it would have been more competitive. He's not that good. He's decent. He's good. He has some tricks. He ran the first time. He knew little things to do. He was
Yeah.
definitely able to counter him more. He's not a bum.
Right.
No,
Right.
I wouldn't say that. But I don't think he's that great.
No, I agree with you. He's definitely not that great. I guess I was saying in the sense of the fact that people wasn't giving Karen a lot of credit for the skills that he displayed in the ring against Boots. Not saying that Boots didn't look bad, but Karen kind of looked good too because he capitalized off of some of the things that Boots didn't do that he should have been doing. And I
As
was,
he should.
as he
So he
should have.
only did what he was supposed to do.
Right. So I was giving credence to that point when we
Hmm.
talk about Karen. Not saying that he's all is super great. You know what I mean? Hold on one second, Dion. 1 second.
Sure.
I'm sorry, Dion had to answer that. So
That's
basically,
okay.
so basically, you were saying he's obviously not that great. But to your point now, and I have to agree with you, and I want the audience to know that when we look at boxing, sometimes as fans, we don't look at it from a holistic standpoint, right? We just address what happened. I like to look at everything from like a big picture perspective. And the big picture is when we talk about Boots, and I think this is the point you're making, when you do get in there with someone that's good enough to be in there with you, not like a person who we know is completely overmatched, you got to perform under the lights when it counts,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Got to
Absolutely.
perform under the lights when it counts,
Absolutely.
especially when you're home, when you're in your backyard and
In
the
in
lights
your
are on
backyard.
you.
Your town came out to see you. They're paying their hard-earned money. You're supposed to show out. Karen didn't scrap with him at a level where you're like, damn, that Karen put up a hell of a goddamn fight. They went toe to toe. They were in the phone booth. They were getting it in. It was crazy. And then Boots doesn't get him out of there. Then you're like, wow, that was crazy. He won, but that was a hell of a scrap. Do you think it was a hell of a scrap to that extent? No.
No, not to that extent, but I
No,
think it was. No, I think it was
I
good
don't think he
enough.
ever hurt. I don't think he caught him so many times. He meaning Karen caught Boots so many times, and Boots wasn't hurt. He didn't get hurt by this man. He never appeared to be harmed in any way. There was no ever any danger. There was never any situation where I would say, "Wow, this guy was a complete threat." and at some point we didn't know, no, this guy, he's okay. He's all right. I mean, he's not complete bum,
Yeah, I agree
because he
with that.
could go toe to toe with someone at that level. I mean, he's fighting a champion. He's obviously, when you start getting those kind of fights, you're at the next tier
Yes.
of being a professional fighter.
Yes.
But like, for instance, another example of challenge, and this is a rookie, and I know that there's no comparison because he's so young, but I'm talking about the kind of grit, and also the fact that this young man had the challenge, but he went in there and figured this shit out on the fly. And that would be Abdullah Mason, his last fight.
Yeah, he came off
And
the canvas.
there's different levels, of course. He's very young in his career. But the challenge was presented. He was put on his behind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Twice.
Yes, he was.
He went right back to it, which I thought was like a little scary. Like, oh my God, maybe you should slow it down a bit. Slow it down, take it easy. You can get him, but he didn't care. He went in and he got the job done. And I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that he did not want to disappoint. And that's what I'm speaking to.
Yeah.
He refused to disappoint. He did not let the adversity set him back to where you walked away and said, oh, Abdullah Mason is not who he says he is, or who we thought he is. He went right in. And that's what I want to see from Boots. We all get challenges. All of us, you get challenged every day. Yeah. We all have, as they say in boxing, a bad day at the office. We all face those moments. But when back to back, you're coming up with the same level of performance, that causes us to raise a brow. Like,
So let me ask you this, Dion. With that being said, is your expectation level for Boots reduced, or is it the same? Or what do you think about him now that you talked about the back-to-back performances? Where's your expectation level now, like as a fan, of Boots?
You know what? For instance, I thought he was a major threat to Crawford. And I believe Crawford thought he was a threat to him. Out of his own mouth, he said he is high risk, low reward.
He did.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people are like, I believe he's talented. I don't believe that he's a wash, but I do think there's something that needs to be addressed in his camp, and maybe something internally with him. Maybe the expectations and the accolades we gave him is too much pressure. Maybe we put too much on him too soon. And I think the other thing, he has a lot of fights under his belt, right? He's been fighting, but he's just getting to this point at 30 something fights.
Yes.
So now the dynamics have changed so much for him. I think we have a lot to do with some of that pressure he's feeling.
Yeah.
And the sad thing, I think that if he doesn't get that internal part and mental part of it together, he may end up becoming a flop, because sometimes even the greatest performers can just kind of fizz out. They just fizzle out. I don't want that for him. I believe he's everything that we thought he is, but I do believe that something needs to be corrected for him. Something. I don't know what it is, I don't know.
Yeah, I do agree with you that actually a lot of things need to be corrected. But I do, like I said Sunday, Dion, I'm confident that they can be corrected. And I'm saying that because I know them personally, but also because Boots have all the tools to improve.
Yes,
he
absolutely.
has the tools to actually improve and make it better. And me personally, I believe, and I said this Sunday, that Boots did not expect Karen to fight the way he did.
Yeah.
It's like almost like he may have trained for Karen to do the same thing he did in the first fight.
Yeah, he
Right?
thought he was going to run. I think so too. But
Yeah,
that's a rookie move not to prepare for the unexpected or learn to adjust.
yeah. And because he
Because he's
beat him.
way better than Karen. I mean,
Yes.
he's head and shoulders and knees, toes, legs, eyeballs, hair, everything about him is superior. He is
Yep.
superior.
Yep.
When you are superior, you are the authority. You are the head of a situation. You can't come out looking like regular. Like you're just the help. You are just a bystander. You are just regular. You are average. He can't Boots can't do it. And
I agree.
because he's so talented, he cannot do it. So to your question, I still think highly of him.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's talented. I am disappointed because I'm tired of. I actually started to go to the fight, and then I was like, nah,
You was
I
gonna
don't
come to
know.
my city, Dion?
Yes, I thought about it because it's New York, Philly, that's close,
Yeah.
and I started to get tickets, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know if it'll live up to it for me. So I changed my mind,
Wow.
you know,
Yeah.
and I found myself as a fan thinking, thank God I didn't go. I would have been disappointed with Boots, to see that performance. That's not what I wanted to see. And most people didn't want to see it. And that's why he's getting, such hard hits, you
And
know.
hopefully he learns from it. You know what I
I
mean?
hope he does. And he's
Learns
seen,
from it.
you know him personally. He seems like a very nice young man, like
Oh,
a
he
very
is.
good
Oh
young
yeah.
man,
Oh yeah. Very thorough young man.
very humble.
Very humble, quiet spirit. Boots.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. And
And I just hope that it doesn't tear him down,
yeah,
because boxing is tough. It's a tough sport, and you get the criticism at a level that you would never get from any other sport because it's man to man, you know? It's human to human. That's you know what I mean? A lot is tied up into it, And I think that's why we get so personally attached to
that's true.
our guys.
Yeah.
It's like that's my guy, because we're almost in there like we're fighting a video game. Like we're working the arms, Sometimes we see things like, oh, don't you see this? If I could work his arms or work his legs, I would, do something different, So
Yeah.
we're attached to them because they're strong people. It takes a lot to be a fighter.
Yes,
Takes a
it does.
lot,
I
you
call it
know.
the hardest hustle in America.
It is. It really
You know?
is. It's very difficult for them. And I would just hate for something so beautiful to go left, you know. Even someone like Teofimo, like just to change the subject,
Yeah, that's okay.
to see his star rise, and they were billing him to be the next Puerto Rican star,
Mm-hmm.
but he has unraveled throughout the years. I mean, top rank, they kept him at all kinds of Heisman Awards, fights, Puerto Rico, and the crazy thing, I remember seeing he was the headliner, and Xander Zayas was on the undercard with very little experience. And
Mm-hmm.
Xander Zayas showed out. I was like, oh God, Tio, what are you
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
And since then, it's just, I mean, he's had his moments. He has a belt now. Um, I would love to see him and he and Haney fight.
Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney.
I would love to see that fight.
I think that'll be a good fight.
I think
I
that'd
think
be a
it'll be a
great
good
fight.
fight. I think that'll definitely be a good fight. But you know what's happening right now? They Bill Haney is already putting it in the atmosphere for the prerequisite to be that Teofimo enrolling 365 24/7 testing right now. His words, not mine. Even though nobody in boxing, to
He
my
sounds
understanding,
crazy.
Yeah, has done it. His son haven't even done it. Nope, nobody that I
Yeah,
know
he
of.
sounds insane. I think he's also very afraid. I think he's super like PTSD. They have PTSD from the Garcia fight.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
borderline paranoia.
yeah,
They don't want anyone to get any kind of edge,
yeah.
even the thought of it, even if they often have many edges and fights. Like, okay, now all of a sudden you are now afraid of your shadow. Everybody has to adhere to all these rules and regulations. I mean,
Yep,
he's another one. They said he was the next coming.
yep, yep. He was supposed to be in Tank Davis's position, honestly speaking,
Yeah, yeah,
marketability wise,
yes,
status
yes.
wise.
Status wise, absolutely.
Yep.
But I also believe that part of his issue is his father.
Oh yeah, no
Yeah.
doubt about it.
I mean, I personally would not sit in a room and strike any kind of deal with his behavior, the way he, carries himself. I would not.
Mhm.
And I think Devin is a dreamboat. I mean, he's marketable. He's probably more marketable than many of these guys.
Yeah,
Well spoken, very meek. But I think some of his father's attitudes and arrogance kind of subtly rubs off on him. And it's been a detriment to him.
yep. But Dion, you're a woman, and you can get away with saying that. But if I say it, Dion, oh my gosh, Dion, Lord have mercy. They'll come for
Yeah.
me. They'll come for me when I say it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to say it. And you know what? I say it in the chat. I
I
say it
know.
everywhere I go. I go on my little boxing film. Listen, I'm going to say it. I'm going to call it like I see it. I'm a grown woman with some wisdom. I
Yes,
love this sport. And you
yes,
can see a lot of things if you pay attention and you're not just I find in the sport that some people are not really fans of the sport. They're more fans of, I don't even know if they're really fans of the person that they're behind, because it becomes like too extreme. So do you love the sport? Because I can give props to anyone, no matter what side they're on.
hmm
Even if you're not my favorite fighter, if you show up and you do a great job, then you get praise, respect, you
yeah,
get what's due. But in this, you get excuses and
hmm
division. It's really interesting what has happened to boxing in this social media age. It's very disappointing.
yep. I would have to agree with you. I got a super chat here and a cash app. Double salute to Adrian Molina. Thank you for your contribution in the cash app and your support. I really appreciate it. Lucky McKenna's my God. Double salute to Lucky again. Thank you for your contribution and your support. In the super chat, Lucky says, Marty, you say Boots have all the tools, but what good is the tools if you don't bring them to work? And I
Mm,
totally agree. What I was saying, Lucky, was Boots have the tools to improve. That's what I was saying,
yes.
and I actually said that. I'm not sure if y'all heard me, but
Yeah,
yes, I mean he has the tools to improve. But if like Lucky just said, if he don't bring those tools to work, what
that's
good are
right.
they? What good are they? And I expect Boots to get this type of criticism. But at the same time, if the people that give him criticism do that with all the other fighters, I think that's fair. I think that's fair game. Because some people, like you said, Dion, they're not really, not all people. I'm just saying some, especially some of the ones that's criticizing Boots, not really fans of boxing. They're just fans of either a particular fighter, and even you said that you don't even think they're even fans of the person. But you
No, I
know,
think it's just
um,
the opportunity to go off and go against. I mean, if you look at the chat sometimes, there are people picking on things. You're like, what are you talking about? This is not even on topic. You just
right?
come in with division.
Yeah,
It's like, what's going on here? So many people are that way. So yeah, I don't think they're fans of the sport. But I will say this to even Boots fans, those who are loyal fans, you got to give them the criticism. It's like a parent who only praises his child. No matter what you do a sucky job because you're my son. You're the best. You're the greatest. You're the greatest. It's almost the same thing with Haney. Your son
Mm-hmm.
performs poorly and he's the greatest. He's the greatest. No, sometimes you need discipline. Sometimes we need truths. It's not being disloyal to tell the truth of the
Yep,
matter.
that's
Tell
true.
the truth. Shame the devil.
Yep, that's true. And I think because I know Mr. Bosey, and I think he's very disappointed too. Um,
Yeah.
Definitely. And I think that he will not shy away from holding Boots accountable and also changing up the game plan moving forward.
Yes.
Because there's no excuse for it, but I don't think Boots got all the way up 100% for this fight. And it showed. And I even
Yeah.
talked about some of the things Sunday about his lack of conditioning. His conditioning looked different to me, to
Mm-hmm.
to me personally, because I
Yeah.
I know him and I've seen him fight a lot of times, and that's of no excuse as well. And maybe
Yeah.
these challenges that he's enduring from the fan base, whether we agree with it or not, can be motivation for him to go back to the drawing board like he acknowledged that he would do and go to the
Yes.
next level. Because we got people like Brian Norman Sr. And the only reason I'm bringing Brian Norman Sr. up is because I keep seeing him, and I don't look at all his interviews, but I keep seeing him plastering all over social media when he wouldn't even put his son in the ring with Boots, and they had $1.75 million on the table to get Brian Norman Jr. to beat Karen too. Karen rematch was ordered by the IBF right then and there once we realized that Brian Norman Jr. wasn't going to fight Boots.
Yeah. I
And
remember that. I remember that.
like, and on top of that, it's really because, and I think people know this, Brian Norman Jr. on the tier and level that he's on, he's okay with where he's at. But he can't beat Boots. And I'd be totally surprised if Brian Norman Jr. can beat Karen. And so what I was saying as far as yeah, no, I'm telling you right now, I don't think Brian Norman can beat Karen. I don't think he can. But that's just
Yeah.
my opinion.
Well, listen. Maybe he'll step up now. I'm sure there'll be many others who had apprehensions
What, to fight
previously.
who? To fight Boots?
Boots. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he can get that work. Why
Yeah.
not?
I think
He's
I
he's still
think
a
many
world
people
champion.
will be more excited. Like, you know what? Maybe he's not as good as we thought. So you know what?
It'll
It's an
be a
opportunity to try to dethrone him.
it'll be a good. I'll tell you what. It'll be a good media frenzy for YouTube because they have the promotion of that and the press conferences. Oh, it'll be wow. That'll
I
be
do
yeah.
I do believe something in my gut is telling me that Boots will show out with someone who is way more skilled. Because
You
I think
think
he
so?
has like crazy, unbelievable instinct. Like he's best when it's like something is coming back that's like like challenged. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that his natural ability, even without thinking, he would come out of his bag and show out. Oh, one thing that I have to say, Boots, if you are listening, I have to tell you this. Please slow down on the flash. I know that's a part of his makeup. I've watched his fights from the amateurs, and I kid you not, he always had that little flashiness, even from amateur fights. But I think he should focus more.
Yeah.
Focus more. And then once you get him to a certain level where you're spanking his ass and you whooping that ass, then you show out. After you dog him and then start playing. But just out the gate, it's like, oh gosh, it just becomes like, stop playing. It
Yeah.
looks like you're playing now. I don't want to see you play. I want to see you go to work. Go to work. Work the fundamentals perfectly.
Mm.
Don't play. I can't take it. I don't like to see anyone really do all of that.
Yeah.
It's like, calm down. Like, okay, we get it. Please.
Dion, we have a super chat, and Mr. Greg shouted you out. Let me read it to you because I know you're driving. Double salute to my guy, Mr. Greg, Gregory Quarterbomb, the OG of the channel. Um, Always a pleasure, Mr. Greg. Mr. Greg says in the super chat, Boots needed to have this bad moment before he gets the big fights. This was his wake up call. Miss Dion is firing on all cylinders. That was to you, Miss Dion.
Thank you, Mr. Gregory. Thank you. Thank
And you
you.
are
And
you
I
are
do believe he's going to show up. I think he will show up more. I think he's fine. I don't know. I just feel like he's a little lax because I even believe he knows Karen isn't that great. So
yeah
he's like kind of resting on his laurels to a degree. You put
yeah
him in there with Terrence Crawford, he probably beat the brakes off of Terrence Crawford. You know what I mean? He's be like, okay, you're firing that, I'm coming. You know what I mean? It's just like sometimes, especially with men, um, when they're challenged, that's when they come out, you know.
yeah.
They come that the best comes out when a man is challenged.
This is
As
true.
a woman, you can challenge a man. You're like, oh, wait a minute, okay. You're getting a little feisty there. You're getting fiery, honey. Okay, let me calm down. It's just in a man, like
Yeah, this is
so.
true.
Yeah.
Dion, you're starting a lovely trend. We have Ariana in the chat. Barbara D is here. We got all the
Yes,
ladies. We got all the ladies in the chat, man. I got the hottest show right now. Can't nobody,
that
Dion,
you
can't nobody do it
do.
tonight. Can't
That you
nobody. This is my show. This
do.
is my time on YouTube. I got all the ladies here.
Listen, we love boxing too. We love
Yes,
it. We
yes,
love it. And it feels good not to be undermined. I've gone in other platforms and you can hear the guys in the chat. They're like, oh, she's a woman. She didn't know what she's talking about. No, I actually do. I've been around a lot of boxing in my life. Um,
yes.
Juan Guzman, good friend of mine, you
Okay.
know, my
Yeah.
his one of his my ex was actually one of his close friends, and he was a boxer from out of the Dominican Republic, and he was an Olympic hopeful, and he lost his eye.
Oh.
Um, his brother was Julio Cesar Green. He was a Dominican middleweight, I believe, champion at one time. So I've been around boxing all my life. My family, we love it. We love this sport.
And I appreciate you, Dion. I need you to do manager Marty. Can you do me a favor?
Yes.
I can't even close out the show with you here like this because everybody in the chat loves you. I have a lot of love and respect for you. I appreciate you
Oh,
coming up.
absolutely.
Can you do me this? It's never been done before in the history of YouTube on my platform where a lady closed out the show. Can you do that
Oh,
for me?
close it out.
Yeah.
How do I close it out? Like, I
I'm
don't
a
know what.
listen, this is how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna turn my camera off, and then you got like a 1 minute. Just give your last thoughts and whatever you want to say about the channel and whatever you want to leave us with, and that's it.
Oh my God. I am so flattered.
You are the star. You the star of the show. This is not my show. You took over
Oh
the
my
show,
God.
sweetheart.
Listen,
This
I
is
have
your
to call
show.
in more often then.
Yes.
Yes, I'll be your closer.
How about that?
Well,
You'll be
listen, this is what
what?
I will say.
What's up?
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of Manager Marty's team. We all love Manager Marty. He comes out with truths. He's teaching us not just the the fundamentals of boxing in terms of the sport itself, but the behind the scenes in the boxing game. And we need that because it's not just fighting. There are a lot of things that go on to make these things happen for us. So please continue to support Manager Marty. Marty, we love you and we'll continue.